What's going on, everybody? It's Joelle. First, I want to say thank you so much for deciding to join in, or if you're considering joining in on the 6-week accountability challenge. We're going to be talking about macros and hydration in this video. For those of us that haven't tracked before, or maybe if you have and you're not really sure what you're even tracking, this video is going to be for you. A couple things. I tend to talk a lot with my hands. I also have a small dog named Nora. If you have not met her, she is a frequent flyer at the kitchen table, which is where I'm sitting right now. So if you hear a little pitter patter, that's her. I don't have a professional office, and I did not want to do this at the gym. So that's it. My name is Joelle. I have been a trainer since 2014. I have bounced around from personal training to group training, boot camp style, small group, large group. I also am a certified nutrition specialist, so I'm able to help people with nutrition. I'm not going to give meal plans. Those are dietitians only, so people who went to school for that kind of stuff. But also, I am super, super knowledgeable. Any free time I have, it's sad as it is, I spend learning about stuff I can help you people with. So that's just a little bit about me. The video today, I just need to pull up my little cheat sheet, is going to be mostly focused on just kind of informing you about what macros are and why we're tracking them. So macronutrients are basically our nutrients that we feed our body with. So you might hear, calories, like, oh, I'm on a low-cal diet, or I'm eating this many calories. And some of us know, but some of us don't. Depending on your goals, manipulating your calorie intake is what's going to help get you there. So if you're, looking to gain mass or lose weight, you're going to either raise up your calorie intake based on what you expend, based on what you burn throughout the day, and or go into a calorie deficit if you're looking to lose weight respectfully, in both of those scenarios. So, for example, if I'm looking to lose weight, but I also want to maintain muscles, it's going to be super important for me to track my macros. What that means is I'm going to not only be in a calorie deficit, I'm also going to pay attention to how much protein, carbohydrates, and fats that I bring into my body. Each has their very own importance, right? And we're going to get into that now on which does what, okay? So when we're working out, a lot of us know that, working out is healthy for us. It's good for our heart. But why does working out help with proper nutrition get us to where we need to be? When you're lifting weights, especially, you're tearing your muscles apart, believe it or not. So think of a bicep curl. As I'm curling that weight down and up, I'm actually tearing my bicep in little baby micro tears. The one thing that brings that back together and builds it up stronger is going to be protein. That's our building block. So when you hear protein, and I'm throwing numbers at you you probably are like, well, I don't even know what this means, or you're like, that's a lot of protein. It's because as we're losing weight, we want to make sure that we're either maintaining or gaining muscle based on our goals. If you have a lot of muscle and you want to shed, it's still going to be important because you do want to make sure that you're maintaining homeostasis within your body and making sure your muscles are getting what they need. It's not only important for physical fitness, but also your well-being and your health. So that's protein. Super important for us to build back up our muscles, our joints, our bones, that kind of stuff. Goes back to the old saying of, milk is good for your bones. Let's go with protein, good for almost everything. Then you have your carbohydrates and your fat. Both are energy sources for our bodies. So carbohydrates are going to be in charge of your high intensity or even lower to moderate intensity, but longer term activities. So your workouts, your even sometimes yoga sessions. Yoga can get hard. Your outdoor walks, your runs. Carbohydrates are going to be in charge of that energy. So whether it's aerobic or anaerobic exercise, whether it's cardio or strength, carbs are going to be important because they help fuel our energy bucket, we'll call it, like our fuel tank for those types of things. Whereas fats also provide energy, but they provide energy for us throughout the day. So things like literally getting up during the day and going throughout our day where we're working or we're, taking care of the kids, whatever it may be. Fat is for us to just sustain energy throughout the day. So if you ever have done like a low fat or low carb diet, you'll notice that your energy levels are down because you're not taking in as much of that food, meaning your body's not getting that energy from those food sources. So you've got protein, super important for building up that muscle, making sure we're getting enough strength and taking care of our body to support those bones and joints with that protein intake. Then you have your carbs and your fat, super important for carbohydrates in the event of working out and exercising, and then your fats just to maintain throughout the day. What we're going to do is we're going to be able to manipulate those numbers to help get you to where you want to be. So we're going to use, for this entire example, a goal of someone who is looking to lose weight but maintain and build muscle. Okay, so basically when you hear the term lean out, what you really want to do is you want to build or maintain muscle while losing body fat, which is a very, very common, very, very expected when it comes to typically the female, but also the male population when they come to, look for accountability. When we determine our macros, what we're doing is we're trying to look at, well, I am looking at where is this person, what's their height, their weight, and their age, and taking all those numbers and determining what you burn at rest, just living and breathing. That's called our basal metabolic rate. So what we burn at rest, doing nothing, just living and breathing if we stayed in bed all day, okay? There's a certain number associated with that for based on our age, height, weight, okay? Within that, we want to take a look at what's our activity level throughout the day, right? So, I have 3 kids and a full-time job, and also I'm a nanny and do a million other things. You moms are nuts. That's going to be your calorie expenditure on top of your BMR. So we're able to look at both of those things and determine, okay, this is where Sally needs to be with her macronutrients and her calories. So we'll get back to that, but to give you an idea of what's in each category, okay, we'll start with protein. That's the holy grail. You have your protein powders that can be whey or plant-based. You have your chicken, your fish, your nuts, your yogurt, your protein bars, turkey, deli meats, cottage cheese, anything like that is going to be your primary protein, okay? Then you look into carbs. You hear carbs, you think pasta. It just happens, okay? So you've got pasta, whole grain or regular pasta. Then you've got rice, you've got potatoes, legumes, veggies, cereal, oats, bread, all of that good stuff is going to be your carbohydrates. Again, in charge of that energy for expenditure on higher levels. So like think back to when you were playing sports in high school, you have that pasta dinner the night before, so you've got enough energy for the next morning. That's where that comes from. And then you've got your fats. So fats are hidden in a lot of different places, but the main spots where you can find fats are going to be your oils, olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil. You also have avocados, nuts, dressings, high-fat yogurt, butters, and then fried foods. A lot of fat. So you might think like French fries, like, oh, fries, like that's a potato, that's carbs. Okay, well, let's think about the oil that it's fried in. So, and what's really helpful is when you go to track, all of this is already figured out. So if I go and I track a cup of fries, it's going to say, okay, a cup of fries is this much carbs, protein, and fat. You're not going to have to figure that out yourself, okay? A lot of the things are in there. You'll have a couple one-offs where, you go out to Fiorella, if you ever been there. It's a chicken cutlet. It's homemade. That stuff's hard. Finding a generic cutlet is going to do the trick for you. Again, we'll get into that. So basically, we'll find the proper amount of each macronutrient for a person to take in. So again, we'll take this Sally. She's trying to lose weight, but she wants to maintain her muscle and or build. What we're going to do is we're going to take her BMR, what she burns at rest, living and breathing, and then her activity level. That's where I come in. I determine all of this. And then I'm going to hand her numbers. Okay, Sally, here's what I want. Based on your, calorie burn and your BMR, I'm going to suggest 1,600 calories for you based on your activity level throughout the day and you as an individual person. All of these numbers are going to be individualized to each person. On top of that, I want you to make sure you're getting enough protein. I want you to hit 130 grams of protein every day. I want you to hit 60 grams of fat and 130 grams of carbs. We'll say that equals out to 1,600 calories. Within that, each single gram of carbs and protein and fat have a certain calorie number associated with them. So fun fact for you, carbs and protein are 4 calories. 4 calories for 1 gram, okay? So 4 calories, 1 gram. Fat over here for 1 gram is 9 calories, okay? So when we go over on our macros, it's detrimental to our calories, it's detrimental to our goals, but it's much more detrimental if you go over on fat, just mathematically, than it is for carbs and protein. For me, the way that I eat, I am a big, high protein, higher fat, lower carb, just because that's the foods I enjoy. Macronutrients and counting macros are made for you to be able to sustain your lifestyle while also being accountable and eating well. Yes, there's going to be changes. Like, no, you cannot have Oreos every meal, all day, every day. You're not going to get what you need for your body and for your goals. However, you can have your serving size, which is 2 Oreos, I believe, while also reaching your goals, because you're going to plan to have those calories from those Oreos, and the rest of the day you're going to nail those numbers. With MyFitnessPal, it's a great way to download or to get the MyFitnessPal app is literally just download it to your phone. I use MyFitnessPal. It's pretty simple. I will do a video also, like a little screen share on how to adjust your numbers with the numbers I give you. So if I give you 1,600 calories and I put you at 130 grams of protein, etc. from that example, I'll show you exactly how to adjust that. When you go and track, I'll also show you a little video on how to track as well. The biggest proponent for you in this challenge is to make sure that you're getting as close to those numbers as you can every day. My goal for you is 5 grams within each. So if you're looking at your numbers, what you'll do is you'll scroll down to the bottom of your diary, you'll hit nutrition, and you'll hit nutrients. What you're going to look at is, am I within 5 grams of my carbs, protein, and fat? Every day, that's the goal. Again, it's going to be a lot more detrimental to go over on fats than it is on your carbs and your protein mathematically. If you're a higher fat person, meaning you're intaking more fat than you are carbs, that's fine. But you want to make sure the numbers that I give you, you're trying to get as close as you can. When we are tracking, our goal isn't to just put in what we eat and just hope for the best. Our goal is to make sure that we are looking throughout the day. So I eat breakfast. I had 2 eggs and 2 egg whites and a slice of low-calorie bread with hot sauce and a protein shake. Make sure I putting that all in. As I'm plugging in, I want to make sure that I'm getting enough protein each meal. That's going to be the biggest takeaway for everybody. I will work individually with each of you as we do our check-ins, but I want to make sure that everybody is focusing on getting that high protein in, okay? So making sure you're hitting your protein numbers is going to be first and foremost, and then the other 2 as well. Calories are fit into the numbers that you're given. So when I give you 1,600 calories and I give you these 3 macro numbers, your 3 macro numbers will equal the amount of calories that you have. They might be slightly off, but again, it's going to be very individualized. So based on your goals, we're going to go with how to adjust from there. With tracking, again, try to track to your numbers. So if I'm eating dinner and it's like, you know, I've got a good amount of carbs left, but normally I only eat a cup of rice, yet I'm over on fat, I'm going to take less olive oil or use no olive oil and bump up the serving size of my rice, right? So if I need more carbs, but I'm having a half a cup of rice, let's make it a full cup, and now I've hit my calories or my carbs for that day. You know what I mean? So making sure you can't answer. It's a video. Making sure you're staying accountable to those numbers and using me whenever you need me. The email, the open email is super important. Make sure you're taking advantage of that. My phone number is also available for you as well. Questions that you have as they come up, let me know. I want you guys to use the Facebook group that we've created to share recipes, snacks, use the grocery haul that I'm going to post, as well as like little tricks of the trade for macro counting. I will post that as well. And then just making sure you're using your accountability coach. Use me. You know, I'm really struggling. I wasn't able to hit my numbers. If I'm going to give you feedback and you're going to put the money and the time into this, you need to make sure that you're putting your goals first. I know it's really hard, mothers especially, to put ourselves first, but you cannot pour from an empty cup. You've spent the time and the money on this. I want you to take it seriously, and I want you to focus on getting these numbers as close as you can. Life happens. I'm the most understanding person in the world. I've been through it. However, there's always going to be something. There's always going to be a dinner to have drinks at, or there's going to be a burger to have. You can have the burger. You can have half the burger. Track it. Or you can say, you know what? There's going to be burgers for the rest of my life. There's not a burger shortage as of right now that I'm aware of. So this 6 weeks, take it on, make it your goal, commit to it. You've already paid, you've already committed. I want you guys to own it because I want you to see what your body can do. It's your mind we have to, persuade. Your body will do a lot more than your mind tells it. So trust me. If anything else, trust me. If you guys have questions, let me know. This video will be posted and sent along to you for the challenge, and I will send you a link to the Facebook group as well. I'm so excited. Again, let's crush this 6 weeks.